Considering my love for Phoebe Bridgers and my love for alternative rock, boygenius is one of my favorite bands. They take gut-wrenching visions and ideas and turn them into songs that you scream at your windshield in the night, but how do they do it? Today we're covering everything from writing to mixing a song like Not Strong Enough. So what makes the feeling? In order to make your listeners feel the same way they do when they listen to boygenius, we have to step away from the technicalities of producing a song and lean more into what emotion we want to evoke. So let's determine what we even feel when we listen to this song. To me, Not Strong Enough feels like you've been really upset and hating yourself for the last decade, and you're just about to pass that threshold of enough is enough, acknowledging your faults, accepting who you are, and looking forward to the control that you now have over yourself. Now, obviously we can write lyrics that pretty much exactly say that, but what makes a good song isn't just the lyrics, it's everything. So we have to portray this bundle of emotions in the instrumentation and the mix. How do we do that? Well, let's take a look. So listening to Not Strong Enough, the aggressive drums create this feeling of angst. The pedal note guitars, which are guitars that play the same root chord over the chord progression, those create the feeling of longing and nostalgia. The pads, which also play a pedal note, they create the same sort of feeling of nostalgia and also comfort. And lastly, the electric guitar kind of creates this feeling of naivety. All right, now we have an idea for the emotional building blocks of the song. Why don't we step into writing it? So for the most part, the acoustic guitar plays the same sort of chords. They keep the root notes while changing the bass notes, which again create that feeling of nostalgia or for longing for something. Let's take a look at the shapes. Okay, so for the main acoustic guitar part, I'm gonna play those shapes, but I'm actually gonna switch it to the key of E. For the verses, I'm gonna play the E shape and then the C sharp minor shape, and then those will repeat to the chorus. For the choruses, I'm gonna play A, C sharp minor, and B, and those are gonna repeat, and that's kind of the whole acoustic guitar part. To record it, I'll use this microphone, it's the AT4040, and I'll record 2 takes of the same part so I can pan them left and right. This is called doubling. It'll help us get some width. For the electric guitar, I'm gonna play some simple melodic lines, maybe some triads, or like just simple stuff that's kind of like naive enough that maybe even like a beginner could play. It's not gonna be anything crazy. Really the goal is to just layer this in with the rest of the instrumentation, so I might even just end up playing the same chords as well. For the drums, we need something driven, most likely into tape saturation, and also quite centered. Centered meaning not super wide. If you listen to the song, the drums aren't actually very wide. There's just a lot of ambience in them that is wide. So I'm gonna hop into Superior Drummer, I'm gonna make a drum preset, and it'll be available for free. Just click the link in the description. This is what that preset sounds like, but I'm sure I'll change it as the project goes on. As for the performance, I'm kind of just playing basic drum parts. I need something that's going to drive the song. I'm not really a drummer, and I'm also just using this drum pad right here. So I'm just kind of shooting for a little more relaxation on the verses and a little more upbeat on the choruses. Specifically that last chorus as well has got to go a little crazy. Wish I had more to say about it. I just kind of improvise this. Okay, and lastly for the synths and the pads. For the pads, I love using Cosmos by the Krowhill Company. It's a great little kind of pad instrument. And for the synths and the bass synths, I'm using kind of like Juno patches, Yamaha DX7 patches, Jupiter patches. All of these are from either Diva or Analog Lab. Okay, cool. So now we've got pretty much the entire instrumental. I think it's time to dive into the mix. Okay, here we are. First thing I noticed was I want some more brightness. So in the actual like record, I believe they're playing a 12th string, or at least it sounds like a 12th string. That's kind of why I played in the key of E, because I could get those strings to ring out, the bottom strings, and it kind of mimics a bit of a 12th string. Okay, so I just put the Lindell 50 channel on all the tracks, just to do some quick editing. I don't want to have to like open up a ton of plugins. I kind of already have everything here: EQ, dynamics, level, volume. First things first, let's give it a listen. I want these to be brighter. Yeah, let's open that up. Much better. All right, next up, we want those drums to be a little fixed and played better, actually. So I'm going to quantize these a little more. And then actually, I think a lot of the sound of the drums is actually the ambience of it. So let's go into the drums, and let's just bring up the front, left, right, maybe. And they're pretty saturated. Yeah, I don't want them to be like overly compressed, but I do want them to be driven to the tape. And this seems to be kind of really compressing it. Not sure if I like that. So instead, let's just throw it into maybe a Studer. It actually might be better to do like a Porta Studio, maybe a 388. Yeah, that kick is really triggering some compression in there. Let's ease off on that kick. There's probably a lot of low end going into. Let's send it to a room reverb. I have a short reverb. It's not really a room. Yeah, we can try it. Yeah, what the hell? Hell no. We want it like that. Let's try that. Also on the record, it does seem like very fast, like 1176 compression might be used. I know I was kind of talking about the compression already, but the compression that tape was doing just was not very tasteful. It's I want like a really fast. Better, right? Also, there's too much clickiness in that kick. Yeah, actually, thinking about it now, There's a new Space Blender plugin. Well, it's a new plugin called Space Blender from Soundtoys, and it sounds really great. It might be nice to kind of blend it a lot more. Yeah, maybe not that much time though. Yeah, actually, you know what? No. Rabbit tape might be nice. We might have to use some Safari plugins just because they're really gritty, which I think will be perfect for this. So let's put rabbit tape on and just see how those sound. Perfect, exactly. In fact, because there's not any hi-hats or like cymbals or rides to keep the pace, we actually have a lot of space to add more verb to like specific like attention drawing elements of the drums, which would be the kick or the snare. I'm not going to put reverb on the kick. I will put it on the snare though. Yeah. Cool. I'm thinking maybe in this section here, we bring up the ambient a bit. Okay, had to troubleshoot for a second. I completely forgot to do multi-outs in Studio One. But anyway, here we go. We got the front, left, and right, I think, and the front height all mapped out to S3 and 4. So now we should, yeah, there we go. There we go. Get some automation in there. I just want it down here. And then we should have it come up. Very nice. Something tells me that's a little bit too much. Yeah, that's cool. All right, I feel like these guitar parts should go a little bit harder, so we might have to... well, actually, this one's probably fine. Yeah, that one's fine. These ones need to go harder. Let's grab the guitar. Sounds lovely. I think we're done. Could add a shaker maybe, but I don't know. Like I would only add the shaker to keep momentum, but I feel like the momentum's already there with the drums. The drum part's pretty cool. Not to toot my own horn, or my fingers anyway. But yeah, all right, cool. Thanks for watching. I'm done here. Bye bye.